about getting hate? Because you're going to get some.
I already got some. It's fine. Yeah, of course I'm going to get hate because, that's just that's what people do because they don't have a life. You and I have lives because we have stories. We got our bruises. We earned our stripes, and now we're telling about it. I'm older now. I'm 62. I'm able to go and it's 40 years of a work history with a lot of great stories. Was it always rosy? Of course not. There's along the way, there's a lot of problems. But to answer your question was, the good people know, typically in our business, someone paid us to go after that bad guy.
But were they ever not bad?
No, they were always bad, unfortunately, because we're a paid for service. So we're charging you a couple $100 an hour at a minimum. You're spending $20,000 to $100,000 a case. You're probably not dropping those kind of dollars unless you're pretty sure you just need proof for whatever reason. So for the most part, I would say I can't give a good story where I remember somebody who was a good guy. But as far as what you do and what I want to do and accomplish is I'd love to be on your level someday. But yeah, don't ever get beat up by that. That's for anybody out there.
What's my level? You mean like of notoriety?
Notoriety, yeah.
Yeah, well, you're getting there.
I'm getting there, yeah.
And everyone that knows me now will know you, at least from the podcast. And this podcast, once it drops, it keeps playing for years. So believe it or not, there'll be people 4 years from now looking you up.
It's always there.
That never heard of me either. That's the beautiful thing about a podcast. So if I were you, I would definitely start a podcast. And by the way, that has a section and all of that. And your podcast, I think, would go big quick because people love to hear these stories, especially when they're true. But again, I mean, my worry, it would be, number one, you better say things correctly because you could get like all kinds of lawsuits. Now your millions are being wasted in frivolous lawsuits where you're telling the truth and you are correct, but it doesn't matter. They got money too, and they'll just drain you.
Oh, sure.
Charles Koch, one of the Koch brothers, told me one time when I was at his house for an event, I said, because he's like one of the richest men in the world. And I said, what is the best advice you could give a young buck like me? And he said, stay out of lawsuits.
Oh, yeah.
He said, sometimes you have to, when it's right, it's right. But like, if you can, stay out of them. It sounds like you're about to head towards them, and a lot of them, if they have money. Because again, what if I'm rich and you're talking shit and you're telling the truth, but I don't care. I'm going to still slap you with paperwork. You now have to spend your money to defend yourself. And you might win, but you're still out. Like a lawsuit's not a win. Aren't you worried about this?
Well, in most stories, there's more to the story. So I'm smart enough to know that. So if I know 100%, I only told 40%. Do you really want the other 60% out there?
Yeah, hell no.
So it's a game you play, but you really afraid of what? The truth is the truth.
I'd be afraid of draining my money on unnecessary lawsuits because I'm out there. In other words, like there has to be a motive. Like, I hate this son of a bitch. I want the world to know he's a scumbag. Just like, again, there's haters out there. I got one in particular right now and it's always the people you help. And he'll sit there and get strangers just to think that I'm some scammer, And it's like, dude, I go out of my way not to scam. I go out of my way to over-deliver. Always. Why? Well, because, I think in life, what I've learned is, number one, over-deliver. That's how you build a reputation 100%. and keep your good fortunes. Because it's one thing to make it, but if you make it nefariously, it's just a matter of time before you crash, end up in jail, end up killed, whatever. So it's just like do the right thing, help people, and solve problems for people, and you'll make a ton of money over time.
Agreed.
But you're also going to get those jerk off haters that are openly lying about you and causing people to question your integrity. And so, again, I could sue someone for that, but I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste money. Like, let them talk shit. I don't care. If someone came in here one time and they said, Brad, I saw on the internet that you had a felony back in 96. I'm like, yeah. Ooh, how come you don't talk about that? I'm like, why would I talk about it? First of all. Second of all, it was 96, bro. Why don't I talk about my high school fucking prom? Like,
no shit, I agree.
It's 96, dude. You guys realize it's 2025. Well, what did you do? Well, again, It's public information. Go look. But my point is, I'm not a bad dude. Although back in my past, I was a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a bad guy or a bad actor, but I wasn't as ethical and as I am today.
Oh yeah, but I think if people are honest with everybody, including themselves, we'd all say that, because we all had to start somewhere, and along the way we're feeling our way and trying to get grasp and take chances. I could tell you stories when I was younger, from being a small time weed dealer doing stupid shit that I wouldn't think of doing today, but it was called survival.
Not only that, but didn't everybody, like, to me, like, that's just normal.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at the president, they well, I smoked weed, but I didn't inhale. Lying ass.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Trump is our president. He's technically got 32 felony against him, doesn't he? 32 now?
Or more.
Yeah, but like, hey, no one cares.
No.
He's the president of the United States. He's got 32 felony, and he's our president. And now we're worried about, you dealt weed when you were young?
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't everybody? Did you? Have you ever? See, my wife's never done any drugs, never did anything bad, came from a beaver cleaver family. But most people come from regular backgrounds where, yeah, dude, you've sold a gram of weed to your buddy.
Of course.
Maybe not a big drug dealer, but definitely broke the law. That's why I always say I think everyone's a felon, just some didn't get caught.
That's a fact.
Are you worried about any of your past being come back to haunt you in bringing up these people's problems?
No, I mean, it's like anything else. I've, you do what you do to survive. I've never done anything illegal or nothing wrong or anything else. I get just the opposite. I get, they call the IRS on me. I go through more audits than, every year I'm getting audited. And every year I have to explain why I make a lot of money. And it's crazy to me. That's anybody go online, go on the form, fill out, and they get their 10% recovery. And next thing you know, Greg Ware is going through an audit for the next 9 months and paying $200,000 legal fees, $150,000 in accounting fees to come back with nothing. It's just pretty common. That's what people do in my world, because you're not allowed to have money. You did something wrong. You're a dope dealer. You must be doing something illegal. You must be doing something. And if I had the dollars I spent just in IRS audits, because you can't, it's even though you win, you lose. And I've lost too, don't get me wrong. I remember going through an audit years ago, my very first one, and I was ugly and it was not pretty. It was new in business and I'm doing everything wrong possible, get audited, and $3 million later I pay them. It took me several years to pay them off. It took me like, I don't know, a number of years, but I figured it out and they taught me how to do it. So after they taught me how to do it, I think I do it right. But you still got some people out there to do that. I don't know if you have that problem yet or not, but when people are jealous of you, they just go online and do it. And then when I was in business, if we fired somebody, they went to the Department of Civil Rights if they're a black person or woman or whatever, and just did a complaint online because everybody could do that. That's what they did, just to shame our name. You win all the time, but what the Koch brother told you, legal fees, always paying the lawyers,
or quick settlements just to go away, because like this is going to cost me $200,000 to defend. Even if I win, all the person's asking for is 5 G's. So basically, they blackmail you for 5 G's.
We never cave, though. I'd rather spend $200,000 than give out 5. If you don't deserve it, you don't deserve it. We're right, we're right. If we're wrong, we're wrong. We'll be the first one to admit it. I mean,
I wish I had that conviction.
Yeah,
to me, it's dollars and cents, man. I'm not inviting lawsuits, but at the end of the day, if somebody's going to force me to spend $300,000, now again, if you're claiming that I'm something that I'm not, or you're gonna accuse me of something that's like, in my opinion, pound sand, I'd rather give my law firm the $300,000 and get it not guilty than give you any amount of money, even $1. But
agree.
In some cases, like I've had someone here one time that worked here and she was gay or she was a lesbian or whatever, and she wasn't working out, so we let her go. The next thing you know, she's saying that we discriminate against gay people. And I'm like, that's not true. I'm a lesbian personally. I love women. But anyway, we joked around, but she ended up wanting like $1,000. I forget even what it was. But my lawyer said, Brad, you're going to freaking go to court and go through depositions all for nothing, because everybody knows you're not against anyone, let alone gay people. So at the end of the day, I just said, fine, here's your $1,000. Just go away. But
we've done that. I mean, obviously, it's just sometimes, we don't know what happened behind that closed door. He says, she said, The managers knew there's no credibility. You're not going to win this. It's going to go to a mediator. It's going to be cut in half. They want $100,000. The mediator says $30,000. It's probably $20,000 better you're going to do at court. So you might as well just take it. We do that all the time, especially in the guard business. We had so many people running through our doors, thousands a year. And those lawsuits were pretty, just the way it was. The worst decision I ever made was right before I sold. We discriminated against a girl allegedly because of an office building downtown Detroit we had. The client wanted her gone. We then dotted our I's, crossed our T's. One of our managers lied that he called her on Labor Day weekend. We couldn't prove it. The attorneys wanted $15,000 right away to settle it. I said no. My attorney actually advised me no. They sued, went to trial, won $675,000.